Hey, in this video, I'll be doing a review for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 13, One of Us. So, in this episode, Cal comes back with a vengeance, and he assembles a team from the Index, and it consists of Carla Faye Gideon, a person that's from the comic books, but doesn't have powers in the comic books, and neither does she have it here. All she has are like these nails, knives in her nails, which I don't know why. I know why she did it, but because in the comic books she has an abusive boyfriend, which they did touch upon it here, and she just took it a step further, and by putting weapons on her nails so she can fight back, which is kind of weird and cool. They have Levi, a smart guy that has a chip. They had a chip in his wrist, which is like probably the prototype of what Sky had, like a little bracelet. Because they're not doing that anymore. They have this bracelet, and Francis, Francis, a strong dumb guy that gave him strong abilities from steroids, and the other one is Angar the Screamer, and he is in the comic book character, and people were saying that it was kind of cheesy and weird that his jaw dropped and like completely came apart, which I thought was kind of weird but cool at the same time, because but his power is that he can knock out people from like any distance, where he knocked out birds and everything like that. So their plan was to get Coulson to his hometown, which I don't know how they did that, by writing "Fight On" in Screamer's jail cell, and Coulson knew that it meant to go to his hometown. So they lured him into his hometown and wanted the world to see how, or Sky to realize how people from S.H.I.E.L.D. treated people like them, which have like powers, and which is kind of weird because they did touch upon this in this episode, how that Cal actually did use drugs to enhance his like body, which in the comic books he does, which gave him powers like the Hulk, but called him Mr. Hyde. So yeah, but he has like this anger issues, which in the show he does, but they haven't explored how powerful he really is yet. But it does sound like he did give him the drugs. So he pretty much did his job, because you see the terror in Sky's face when Coulson and everyone were attacking the human abilities, and what's called Sky like gets nervous and uses her powers again, and completely breaks her bones in her like her wrist, which we find out that every time that she ever used her powers and she tried to like focus them, it weren't helping her, it was destroying her, which was kind of weird. And they gave her bracelets, which people were saying that it was a nod to her comic book version, where she had gauntlets to focus her powers, which it kind of is a nod to her gauntlets, which I'm pretty sure they're going to have it at some point, because I don't know why they wouldn't gave the nod to her abilities. But yeah, they have a big fight, and the Reader comes in and takes Cal to their like human place, and he's going to go be judged by someone. We don't know who it is and what's going to happen with Cal, but yeah, that's pretty much it for that part. on the other hand, May gets her ex husband in, and wants to like give Sky therapy since she has powers and trying to like figure out what's happening and stuff like that. And Sky's on the index, but he doesn't really do much in this episode. But we do find out some of the information about her like May, and May and her Andrew eloped, and they didn't elope to Vegas, which a lot of people usually do, but what's called they eloped somewhere, but we find out Vegas is one of May's favorite places to go, which okay, and Andrew doesn't want to talk about the cavalry because he knows how touchy it is for May, so he doesn't really want to talk about that. That's about it there. Really, they're just like really short scenes, but we find out that Andrew has this kind of like other person in his life, and that's why he left S.H.I.E.L.D. Like he left S.H.I.E.L.D. because S.H.I.E.L.D. is not the way he wanted it to be, and he finds out that it hasn't changed and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and May and him are getting closer. So I don't know what's gonna happen there. And Coulson and Simmons are having a little like conversation, having a little secret where she's saying that they're two different people, people with powers that are man-made and people that are born with it, like Sky and Raina. So they're going to figure out a way to like deal with people with powers, that are human or the people that were born with powers. That's what I'm understanding. Maybe, but yeah. And on the other thing, Mac and Bobby are hiding Hunter in a bathroom in one of the safe houses for pretty much the whole entire episode, saying that we're not here to kill you. And then the big reveal at the end was that they're working for the new S.H.I.E.L.D. or the real S.H.I.E.L.D. And before all this happened, and before I realized, I thought it was gonna be Strike, because ever since Lance Hunter's been in this show, I've been trying to figure out what his purpose is, and the only connection between the comic books that he's in are an organization called Strike, and he's the director of Strike. And now they have a new S.H.I.E.L.D. And that's the only thing I can think of, a reason why they would have Hunter in the organization, and he be like, this is a splinter off section of Strike. But people are saying it's going to be S.W.O.R.D., but as what I understand from S.W.O.R.D. is an alien version of S.H.I.E.L.D., but they work with S.H.I.E.L.D., not against S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm pretty sure Strike is against S.H.I.E.L.D., but I could be wrong. I don't read the comic books, but now that I've looked at a picture of these symbols and the new S.H.I.E.L.D. symbol, it looks like it's just gonna be the evolution of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like I'm predicting that by the end of the season, S.H.I.E.L.D. and new S.H.I.E.L.D. or real S.H.I.E.L.D. are gonna work together, are gonna fight for a bit, but find out a common goal, and even though they want Coulson gone, I think it's going to be that the Coulson is going to have to leave the director's seat and someone else takes over. which that's what I'm predicting because that's what it looks like to me. That's what's gonna happen. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much the whole entire episode. I think it was a. I really liked it. I really like the powers that they or the villains. They're not powered villains, but they somewhat powered. So yeah, uh, I liked the powers. I liked how Sky is dealing with the powers. I liked the reveal of the new shield. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but next episode it's going to be "Love in the Time of Hydra," which is a really specific word for there. They're not dealing with Hydra. Bobby and Mac said, "We're not Hydra." I don't know what's gonna happen next episode, but and the love and for some reason I thought it was gonna be Bobby and or May and Andrew are somehow gonna reconnect, or Sky and Fitz, because Sky and Fitz are having like this weird connection now. Like they're more of it doesn't look like it looks like friends, but also could lead into somewhere else. But now that they released the poster of the show, or like for this episode teasing, I think it's gonna be the Skyward like everyone else is gonna be, or it's gonna be some kind of weird twist because the poster doesn't look like what it looks like. I think uh, Ward is just still psycho and he's in love with Sky still. That's what it looks like to me, but I could be totally wrong. So yeah, comment down below what you thought of this episode and what I should review next. See ya.